Hey, what's going on? You know who it is, you know what it is. All right, you guys, peep in. All right, so as you can see, based off the actions that has happened within the last week, not even a week, of the conviction of Derek Chauvin, we've had, well, some more incidents. Okay. So like I said, our work is far from over. Got a lot of work to do. You know, a lot of people have took a tweet by LeBron James and have tried to capitalize off of it and twisted his words. But that's how the media get down, the primarily white controlled media, because at the end of the day, they're ran by cowards. They love to put these stigmas and images on people that look like me because they know it's easy to try to make them stick. And for the most part, they can make it stick. People always have their prejudice in their minds made up when it comes to a black man versus anybody. If he's accused, he did it. That's pretty much it. But I just wanted to get that out the way. But let's talk about Derek Chauvin. You know, like I said, this judge is clearly in his favor because basically he wouldn't allow testimony from officers to bring up his rap sheet, the multiple complaints of excessive force. Now, basically, the reason why he didn't take the stand because he was basically petrified that the prosecutor could bring this up. Now, I don't know if you know, but reports have surfaced that he had an incident with a 14-year-old black kid, basically almost identical to what happened with George Floyd. So this guy got a kick out of doing this. You know, I know one of the things that they wanted to make about this case, they didn't want to make it an issue of racial profiling. They just want to make it look like, hey, he you know, basically he was just a rogue cop that went too far and that was it. But see, Chauvin has a history of systematic racism. Now, I reported that there were at least almost 20 complaints of excessive force. Look, I gotta be honest with you. If you got over 10 complaints of excessive force, shouldn't they be an investigation? Shouldn't you not be on the streets? But they kept putting this guy back in the streets. So this just goes to show you the negligence, the ignorance, and the nonchalantness that police departments have. And the links they'll go through to protect their own. Now, apparently, what happened in 2017, there was an unruly kid. Now, the mother had called the police on him because she was trying to get him to leave. They say Chauvin arrived and basically he roughed up the kid, pretty much did the same thing, had him on the ground handcuffed, had his knee on his back at first. Then, same thing, put his knee on the kid's neck. And once again, you had the kid saying that he couldn't breathe. And they said he was bleeding from the ear. So this goes to show you that this dude, Chauvin, was a monster. We want to holler about this stuff that black people are just always jumping the gun and the police need to be looked upon as heroes. How can we look at them as heroes when they're doing this? When they always tell us to accept accountability, but they don't want to accept accountability. It's everybody else's fault when they go overboard, when they go over the edge. Look, I understand sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but once you have the situation under control, just like what happened with Oscar Grant. Oscar Grant was handcuffed. He was handcuffed they pretty much had the situation contained, but the cop decided to tase him, and he so-called mistaked his taser for a gun, which you had police debunk that. And then they sitting up there having these press conferences. Oh, well, it was an accident. Look, I'm not finna argue with people that's gonna say, well, what is the police supposed to do, and you shouldn't flee the scene. Well, okay, here's the thing. I bet you wouldn't say that if that was your white ass or non-black ass. Just because you flee the scene don't mean that you supposed to be gunned down. A lot of people flee the scene because they're scared, and then based off the actions of the police, that's been very transparent and visible to people, you would be scared too, especially if you black. You'll be scared too. Because if you have an encounter with the police, it might be your last day on earth. Because there's history is on our side. It doesn't matter how many Candace Owens there are and other people, Meghan McCain and people like that, Larry Elders of the world. History is on our side. Going back X amount of years, or should I say decades. Okay? So let's not play these games. But yeah, this dude got a long history of doing this. And this is something that no matter how much Jim Crow Joe and Cam try to just pretend that this isn't going on, or they trying now to pretend like they've been on this, like they trying to stop this. You know, like I said, once again, history is on our side. History will prove us right more than wrong. Like I said. Like I said before. You do have to do your job if you in law enforcement. But at the end of the day, doesn't mean that you have the right to gun them down or to beat them down. I understand that you may have to use force to make an arrest, but there's a such thing as excessive force. And whether you believe it or not, even as a prisoner or a detainee, we still have rights. So, you know, I just wanted to put that out there because that needed to be said. Anyway, this your boy Town Biz. I'm out.